Good morning, students. So today we are going to discussing about Telangana State Intermediate first year botany first topic or first chapter, that is the living world. The living world. So we are going to discuss about we have three types of questions here: very short answer questions, and long answer questions. So three. So there will be in examination level. The question paper is carried out how many marks? Mainly three types: 2 marks question answers, 4 marks question answers, and 8 marks question answers. So now today we are going to discuss about in this very short answer questions, means 2 marks. So here now here we are going to discuss about 2 marks question answers. 2 marks question answers, that is very short answers questions. So now here the first question is what does ICBN? What does ICBN stands for? Means here abbreviation. So I for international, ICBN, in which I for international, C for code, C for code, B for botanical, N for nomenclature. So when we together, we should call International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. Totally have to pronounce, totally have to say that. So what does ICBN stands for? International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. So what is the function of ICBN? What is the function of International Code for Botanical Nomenclature? Means which gives newly identified plants, whatever present, it gives names particularly. So botanical nomenclature means names. So by which we can easily give the newly identified plants names. So ICBN is helps to give the names to the plants, particular names, particularly scientific names, particularly scientific names. So International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. So many times it came in examination level. So you can remember easily. And what does ICBN means? International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. And the second question is, what is flora? What is flora? What is flora? What is flora? So flora is nothing but group of plants. But here the when we go to the deeply, so it is a publication containing actual account of habitat distribution and systematic listing of plants of a given area. So now here when you take here three important aspects about the flora, that is habitat distribution and systematic listing of plants given area. So the flora is nothing but group of plants and which describes habitat of that place. Habitat means the place where the organism lives. Distribution, where it is moving from here and there, and systematic listing of plants. So a list of plants which are present in a given area. So total this information was given by the flora. So flora gives information about habitat of the plants, distribution of the plants, and the systematic listing of given area. So these words you have to remember. So flora, if we say simply the flora, nothing but group of plants. But what plants here? Regarding to that plants, it gives habitat and their distribution and systematic listing of plants of a given area. This is also now define metabolism. Define metabolism. Define metabolism. What is the differences between anabolism and catabolism? Anabolism and catabolism. So here metabolism is nothing but the sum total of the chemical reactions occurring in the body of living organism is called metabolism. So we can say another definition. Now I will show here what another definition. Metabolism is nothing but the synthesis, and analysis of food material. Food material is called metabolism. Is called meta metabo metabolism. Metabolism. The synthesis and analysis of food material is called metabolism. So, and also we can write in bracket. Also, we should call and the making bracket close and breaking and breaking of food material. The synthesis is nothing but making, analysis is nothing but breaking. The making and breaking of food material is called metabolism. So in our body or in animal body, there will be several reactions are going to take place, so that in each one, so in some of the reactions, in some of the chemical reactions, food materials are prepared. In some of the chemical food materials are breakdown. So that making and breaking, synthesis and analysis of food material is called metabolism. This metabolism is two types. That is anabolism. 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 So anabolism and catabolism. Metabolism is two types: anabolism and catabolism. So here anabolism is the constructive metabolic reactions are called anabolism. Constructive ante making, ante preparing. The destructive ante breaking metabolic reactions are called catabolism. So we can give very simple right any we can understand this one, that is M equal to metabolism equal to AC plus DC. AC plus DC. M means metabolism, A means anabolism, C means constructive phase. So here you can write ACP and DPC. APC, DPC. APC means A for anabolism, CP for constructive phase. DPC means destructive phase catabolism. So in this way, this mnemonics you have to keep in your mind. Metabolism is it is the both the combination of ACP and DPC. So anabolism is a constructive phase. Catabolism is the destructive phase. Anabolism is nothing but making. Catabolism is nothing but breaking. So now examples, let us give that examples for when we take about now when we take here about ACP example means anabolism or constructive phase example, we can take the photosynthesis, PHOTOSYN constructive or anabolismకి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏ మెటబాలిక్ రియాక్షన్ గా చెప్పవచ్చు అంటే మనము ఫోటోసింథసిస్ చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. అదేవిధంగా డిపిసి మీన్స్ డిస్ట్రక్టివ్ ఫేజ్ ఆర్ కెటబాలిజం. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రెస్పిరేషన్. సో రెస్పిరేషన్ లో ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్స్ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అవుతాయి, ఫోటోసింథసిస్ లో ఫుడ్ మెటీరియల్ తయారవుతాయి. కాబట్టి సో ఈ విధంగా మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కూడా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు లైఫ్ ప్రాసెస్. సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ కెటబాలిజం that is the respiration. Example for anabolism, that is photosynthesis. This is you have to keep in your mind. Third question. So once again, metabolism is nothing but the synthesis and analysis of the food material is called metabolism, or we can say another definition, the making and breaking down of the food material. So metabolism is two types, that is anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is also called constructive phase in which food materials are prepared. Example, what we can say photosynthesis. Whereas catabolism is also called destructive phase in which food materials are break down. Example, respiration. Now the fourth one, which is the largest botanical garden in the world? Name a few well-known botanical gardens in India. So here when you take about largest botanical garden in the world, is the Royal Botanical Garden at Kew. The Royal Botanical Garden at Kew in England. England lo unna Kew pattanamlo unna RBG means Royal Botanical Garden is the largest botanical garden in the world. And another botanical gardens also we can see Indian Botanical Garden, which is present in Howrah town or city or district, and also NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute, which is present in the Lucknow. This is also you have to keep in your mind. So here two questions are there. First one, which is the largest botanical garden in the world, means for this question answer is Royal Botanical Garden is the largest garden which is present in Kew town and England country. Whereas in our country two important gardens are there, that is Indian Botanical Garden, which is located at Howrah, and a National Botanical Research Institute, which is present in the Lucknow. Next here, let us go to the fifth question. Define the terms couplet and lead in a taxonomic key. So here when you take about two terms, couplet and lead. లీడ్ అంటే నడిపించున్నది, నడిపేది అనమాట. కానీ ఇక్కడ సో కప్లెట్ మీన్స్ పేర్, So in a taxonomic skis, generally based on a pair of contrasting characteristics. Contrasting means differentiating characteristics. So differentiating characteristics, for example, autotrophic and heterotrophic. So autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. So nutrition okate, kani two types, autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. So these are, and this pair is also called a couplet. So a pair of contrasting characteristics, a pair of contrasting characteristics is nothing but a couplet, a couplet. So in a couplet, each statement is in the key is called a lead. Each statement, for example, so nutrition, autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition followed by the all green plants. It is a one statement which is lead, which is called lead, which is called lead. So each statement in the key, each statement in the taxonomic key is called lead. The a pair of contrasting characteristics is called couplet. Is called a couplet. Next here, let us go to the what is meant by what is meant by what is meant by manuals and monographs. Manuals and monographs. Manuals and monographs. So manuals and monographs, they are the publications, but these publications may vary. So when you take example here, clearly, both are containing information regarding to the plants, but manuals contain name of species found in an area. So in a given area, for example, you take a thanda or a village, whatever innumerable of plants, that description is given a small booklet is called manual. So manual containing many more information regarding to the plants which are located in particular area. But whereas in monographs contain information only on any one taxon. So best example I will explain. For example, here a catalog you have to take means containing, for example, whenever there will be a different mobile companies are there. For example, Vivo and Cellcom is that is what we can say. Samsung is there. So when we prepared a book containing Samsung mobiles, phones information as well as Vivo mobiles information in a same book. So both are regarding to the cell phone information. So that is called, we can say, manuals like that. But whereas monographs means any one of the mobile company information only. For example, Vivo mobiles only one particular booklet. So that is called monographs. So monographs contain information only one taxon, whereas manuals containing many species found in an area. This is keep in your mind in example. So both are booklets, small booklets, but manuals have many plants information in a particular given area, but monographs containing only one types of plants present in that area, only one plant about plant species information contain monographs. Next here, go to what is systematic. What is systematics? Very, very important. The study of different kinds of organisms like plants, animals, forest animals, domestic animals, pet animals, all that study of organisms and their diversities. Their diversities means, for example, when you take a deer, when you take a cat, when you take a lizard, There will be house lizard is different, garden lizard different. There will be diversity is there. So same, that is lizard, this is lizard. In the same way, many animals, they may differ depending on when they are living in different places. So the study of the type of organism and their diversities and their relationship is called systematics. Once again, systematics study the types of organisms and their diversities as well as their relationship. Three terms you have to keep in your mind. Systematic deals with the relationship of the organisms, their diversities of the organisms, and the types of organisms. That is the study of different kinds of organisms, their diversities, and also the relationship among the organisms is referred as systematics. Next here, eighth one. Why are living organisms are classified? Why are living organisms are classified? So it is uh, impossible to study living organisms without any means. So, for example, living organisms, if you not classify, we will be confused which is plant, which is animal. So that in this universe, whatever living organisms present, then we have to classify. That is fishes, reptiles, amphibians, and non-vertebrates like protozoa, porifera, nidera, plant, human being, plants. So like this. So when we study together without classification, we will be confused. So when we classify and kept separately, these are the plants, they prepare their own food. They are the autotrophs, and these are the parasitic plants. They won't prepare. They may depend upon other organisms, animals. So forest and other domestic area. So classification makes it is possible to make possible to study of all living organisms. So organisms are classified. So classification is the best technique to study the living organism, so that classification is following. Then organisms are separating cattle, buffaloes, human being, like that. So class with by the classification there is no confuse, but without classification there will be a confuse. So keep in your mind this statement. Classification is very important. By the classification we should know clearly the information about organisms, but without classification we will be totally confused. So what is the basic unit of classification? It came number of times in examination level. What is the basic unit of classification? And define it. Species is the basic unit of life. Species is a group of individual. So you can take most important one. So that is the reason I am drawing in box. So which is the basic unit of life means, which is the basic unit of life means species. Species is the basic unit of life. Whereas species is a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. So species, for example, here we can say that group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. So when you take 10 organisms or plants, they are exhibit similar characteristics, so that those are said to be a particular species. So species is a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarities. ఫండమెంటల్ సిమిలారిటీస్ మీన్స్ సిమిలార్ మీన్స్ పోలిక సేమ్ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. వాటి మధ్యనే రీప్రొడక్షన్ జరగవచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ 10th one, give the scientific name of mango and identify the generic name and specific epithet. You know that about scientific names. So in lower classes already you know learn about Varietha sativa, Anthara tigris and Homo sapiens. Here two types of words are there. Homo sapiens is the human being scientific name. Homo is the genus, species is the sapiens. So here another plant scientific name was given, Mangifera indica, means mango. Mangifera is nothing but what? Mango. The mango scientific name, the mango scientific name is Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. Mangifera is the generic name or genus. Mangifera is the generic name or genus. Species or specific epithet is the indica. So total we have to together we have to read, that is Mangifera indica. It is the mango scientific name. In the same way, each organism in this universe have a scientific names, including human being. Already you know that human being scientific name is what? Homo sapiens. Human being scientific name, human being, SCIENG, human being scientific name is Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens. So here Homo means genera or generic name. Sapiens means specific epithet, that is species. Here the plant mango scientific name Mangifera indica, human being scientific name Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens lo Homo sapiens lo homo ante entidi ante genus, sapiens ante endi species. So this is you have to keep in your mind. Now what is the growth? What is the growth? And what is differences between growth in living organisms, growth in non-living things? Increase in mass, increase in number of individual organism is growth. So cells number increase కావడం మరియు సెల్స్ వెయిట్ ఎక్కువ కావడం జనరల్ గా మనం ఏం చెప్పుకోవచ్చు అంటే గ్రోత్ అని చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఇన్ లివింగ్ ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ గ్రోత్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇన్సైడ్, whereas in non-living organisms it is by the accumulation of materials on the surface. For example, non-living organisms growth avvadaniki karanam, for example, it is a small stone, but after 20 years it become as a this much bigger size rock. Why? Because from outside materials are entered, so that when the outside materials are entered, automatically the size will be increases. So that here what they given, on the surface material arrived, on the surface of the non-living thing materials are arrived, so that it will be increases its size. But whereas in living organisms, inside the body will be grow. So this is two very short answer questions regarding to the first chapter, the living world, first year intermediate botany. So from 11 questions, definitely one question I'm giving guarantee it will come in examination level 11. So from when you learn 11 questions, you will get 2 marks in annual examination level, so that you can go through this question answers and write board exam. So thank you until the next class. Until then, bye.